I got some chocolate.
Ew. Hi, how is everyone? I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. So far, all the videos that I've been sharing have been really peaceful and calm, and that's been very intentional. I've been trying to cultivate peace in my life. But some of you might watch that and think, where are all the temper tantrums? My kids would not behave like that. We do have temper tantrums. But my tendency is to drop the camera because the girls need my full attention. So you don't get to see what's happening. It turns out my 6-year-old, Bethany, has ADHD and anxiety. Luckily for her, I also have anxiety. What my anxiety is triggered by is lots of loud noises, lots of chaos, lots of mess, lots of being touched, and lots of big emotions. So basically that means children trigger my anxiety. Now I've spent the last 6 years doing a home daycare and then a homeschool as someone who has anxiety, which is triggered by children. So I've had to really develop some mad coping skills. Basically everything in the book I have tried. Which means that I'm in actually a very, very good position to help Bethany cope with her anxiety. So we've been working really hard over the last few months to try and teach her coping skills. This is something that not a lot of people think about, is teaching our children how to cope. We have a tendency to say, calm down, but we never teach our children how to calm down. They don't just know that. And then the other thing that people forget about is that children learn through copying what they see. So the best way to demonstrate coping strategies to children is to model those coping strategies yourself. So anyways, the other day, I put up a camera in the living room and I just videotaped the girls playing for most of the day. And I happened to I caught a fight on camera, which I have already shared in the video that I posted earlier. But I also caught Bethany having a panic attack. So something small happened and her reaction was far beyond a normal reaction. And so we practiced some of our coping skills. So I'll show you the video and I'll have a little chit chat while we watch it. This is the scene in the living room the other day. I'm folding laundry and I'm still in my pajamas, so thank you for forgiving my messy look. The girls are very hyper. If you see that bottle on the table right in the middle, it's a milk bottle. Inside of that bottle there is a wasp. There's a wasp nest in the walls of our house, and the wasps sometimes come to the inside. And so, Mom, there's a wasp, and then I have to grab a container and I catch it and I put it in. And then we usually just keep it around for a little while for scientific purposes, because that's the kind of family we are. Like once we found a dead one, and so we looked at it under our microscope. Anyway, so it's not uncommon for us to have a container with a wasp in it. As I play this video, you'll see while the girls are playing, they have forgotten about the wasp. So they accidentally knock the bottle over here. Bethany picks it up, and then I remind her about the wasp. A few minutes later, Abby's fiddling with the camera, and Bethany is fiddling with the bottle absent-mindedly. And the bee flies out of the bottle while she's holding the bottle. She doesn't get stung, but it scares her. So she has a really severe anxiety response. Now, in the past, I might have been triggered by her anxiety response. So you might have found me getting an anxiety reaction. And I would say, be quiet, calm down, it's not a big deal. Can you stop crying? Because that's what I used to say to myself when I had anxiety. Be quiet, calm down, it's not a big deal, relax. But I've since learned that that's not a healthy way to process your anxiety. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm just breathing deeply and I'm breathing calmly. And I'm trying to keep myself calm. And as I calm down, Bethany calms down. You see, anxiety is just your fight or flight response. It's the same thing that happens if you get in a car accident. It's the same thing that happens if you're being chased by a bear. Your whole system feeds into itself. So if you're breathing calmly, your brain gets the message that you're not being chased by a bear. If you start shouting and yelling, your brain gets the message that you are being chased by a bear. So the most important thing you can do during an anxiety attack is to breathe calmly and deeply. And so when I do that, she learns how to respond. So once she's calm, I catch the bee, I set it free. But then we need some more time to try to recover. If you've ever been in a car accident, sometimes still hours later, you're shaking and your heart is going fast, even though the danger is long past. So it's really important to give yourself time to really calm down after an incident like this. If you don't, she's going to spend the whole day overreacting to everything, freaking out about everything, picking fights with her sister, and so on and so forth. She really needs time and space to develop these coping strategies. And as she gets older and she practices them more, she'll get better at it. And she'll recover more quickly. And it'll become an instinct to her. You know, it's been, I would say, 3 years since I've started really implementing these measures to deal with my anxiety. And it's only now that it's starting to become almost like an instinct for me. Whenever I start to panic, I can breathe deeply and I can calm down instead of throwing a dish across the room and yelling. So that was it. That was the incident that we had last week that I thought might be a useful teachable moment for you. There's this real sort of, I don't know, belief in the world right now, or maybe there always has been, that a woman is born a good mother. You're either a good mother or a bad mother. You're just born that way and it's who you are and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's bullshit. That's such a fixed mentality. I'm more of a growth mindset person. You can be good at anything if you work really hard at it. And you can be bad at things if you don't work hard at them. So parenting is something that I've worked really hard at. I've read a lot of books. I've read a lot of theory. I've done a lot of practice. I take care of a lot of kids. So, you know, I know that it's like playing the piano, you know. The more you play the piano, the better you are at it. If you just suddenly sit at the piano one day and think, I should be able to play this, why can't I play this? Well, that's ridiculous. Parenting is the same way. So to me, there's no shame in seeking out parenting advice. And it sort of frustrates me when I see moms who are struggling and beat themselves up over it and think that they're a bad person because they're struggling at being a mother. It doesn't come naturally to you. And like everything else, it's something that you have to learn. So, anyways, stay strong. It's hard. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.